Good afternoon, sixes. So, okay, it seemed yesterday that people actually took steps backward in showing work. So, because we're showing less process, I thought let's go through again. I'll show you absolute specific steps, A through F, that we can go through in every problem. And if you show me your work, like you show the step A, show step B, show step C, show step D. Oh, and I skipped E. So sorry, it should be A through E. Apparently, I'm bad at the alphabet. That's my fault. Sorry. So A, B, C, D, E, and this should say skip to step E. Good. So let's work through the first couple together using these steps, because if you use these steps, you will be showing your work. So question one looks like this. Part one, or A, I'll color code my steps. Does the problem contain any mixed numbers? Mixed numbers have an integer and a fraction. So for example, 3/5 is not a mixed number. That's a proper fraction. But 2 3/5, that is now a mixed number because, mixed, this is annoying, sorry. Mixed number because it has an integer and a fraction. So, mixed number. All right, so does the problem contain any mixed numbers? Well, this right here is a mixed number, and this is also a mixed number. So for part A, my answer is yes, there are mixed numbers. So the next, if so, yes, there are, convert them into improper fractions. So first we need to make these into improper fractions. I'll be very specific about the way this works, but I would say if you guys knew what to do and you just said -3 times 5 is -15, well, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3 is 18. It makes this -18 over 5. If you're unsure how I got that, I'm thinking we have 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3/5. So there are 5 chunks here, 3, 4, 5. These circles are filled in completely because that's 3. And this one also filled in completely. And then this last one, we have 3/5. So one piece here is filled in, one piece here is filled in, and one piece here is filled in. But we just have 3 of those 5. So if I want to make that into a fraction, I need to make this fifths. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 4, 5. So here there are 5/5. Here there are 5/5. Here there are 5/5. And here there are 3 more fifths. All of these are fifths. So then how many total fifths do we have? Well, 5 and 5 and 5 are 15. And then 3 more makes 18/5. So this is the thing I'm thinking when I create that -18/5. And I would do the exact same thing with this 4 2/5. So I could draw a diagram. I would have 4 circles and then 2/5, and then I would have to cut these circles up and find out how many fifths I have. Or I could just know 4 times 5 is 20 plus 2 is 22. So this is 22/5. Okay, so does the problem contain any mixed numbers? Yes, our problem did. Both of these are mixed numbers. If so, convert them to improper fractions. We converted both to improper fractions. Step A is done. Let's go on. Step B. Step B says, do the fractions have common denominators? So this denominator is 5, this denominator is 5. Those are common denominators. They both have denominators of 5. If so, so for part B, I should say, yes, they do have common denominators. If so, skip to step F, which should be step E. So I'm going next, just skipping to step F. Great. F says add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominator the same. Here's what I mean. The denominator stays the same. That's a 5. We're going to add or subtract these numerators going across the top here. So what do we have there? I have -18 minus 22. So -18 minus 22 is -40/5. And great, I can reduce that. -40 divided by 5 is -8. Done. That's that problem. So I just worked through the steps is all I did. A, does the problem contain mixed numbers? Yes, we had mixed numbers here. So we converted them to improper fractions. Now we have improper fractions here. B, do the fractions have common denominators? We looked there and the denominators were 5 and 5. Those are common denominators. Great. So I said yes. If so, skip to step F. So I skipped to step F. We add or subtract the numerators. So I took the numerators were negative 18 minus 22. Those all came into the numerator. And keep the denominator the same. The denominator is 5. Then I actually subtracted those, divided this, and our answer. Good. Okay. So that's the first one. Let's go and look at a second one. You may want to keep these steps up in front of you or have the worksheet in front of you because I can't really put, oh, maybe I can actually because it's on the next page. No, okay. So I'll write them as we go. Step A is about, are there mixed numbers? In our case here, yeah, that's a mixed number. So first step, we are going to change that to an improper fraction because yes, we have mixed numbers. So that first number is not a mixed number, it's just an integer. So I'm gonna just bring that over. I can just make that -1 as it is. We have -1 plus, I need to make this one into a mixed number. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 2 is 12. So this is -12 over 5. And look, if you notice, I'm already showing process. This is already showing my work. Now if I go to step B, because now we have improper fractions, there are no more mixed numbers. Step B, I can go up here and look. It's going to look annoying a little bit. Do the fractions have common denominators? If so, skip to step F. So let's look. Do here, oh, that's annoying. Okay, do these fractions have common denominators? Well, no. This guy has a 5 as a denominator. This doesn't even have a denominator yet. So -1 is the same as -1 over 1, but those are not common denominators. So next I have to look at what step B tells me to do. Step B up here says, if they have common denominators, skip to step F. We don't have common denominators. So I'm going to go to step C. Step C, find the lowest common denominator, which is the lowest common multiple of the denominators. So, okay, come down here. This was the work I had. I'll try to line it up again. Step B was asking, do we have common denominators? No, we do not. So, step C, I'll color code step C in blue. Okay, step C said, find the lowest common multiple of 1 and 5. Well, I could list out the multiples of 1, list out the multiples of 5. I would find they have a lowest common multiple of 5. So good, then I have that lowest common multiple. Let's look, what does step D say? Step D, multiply each fraction by a unit fraction in order to make common denominators. Okay, so, come on. Okay, there was our work. Step D, we are going to multiply by unit fractions to make common denominators. Since I have 5, I know I want to go equals, this is going to be something out of 5 plus some other thing out of 5. Well, this one's easy because it's already out of 5. So that's just going to be -12. But this first one I need to make to be out of 5. So I have 1 times 5 will give me that 5 that I want down there. But I better make this a unit fraction. So unit fraction tells me multiply the numerator by 5 also. -1 times 5 is -5. So there's step D. I wanted to multiply to make 5, so I thought 1 times 5 gives me that 5, so do 5 times the numerator also, and I just get this result. Step D done. And if you notice, the point of step D is now we have common denominators. So now we're ready for step F, that should be step E. Add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominator the same. Okay, well, here's what we have. We want to add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominators the same. I haven't used black, so I'll just do E in black. Step E. We're going to keep the denominator the same, add or subtract the numerators. So that's -5 plus -12. -5 and -12 make -17 out of 5. Now, this is a perfectly fine answer. I'm good if you leave it as improper fractions. You also could make that -3 and 2/5. You do need to know that those are the same, but either of these answers is perfectly fine with me. So I don't care which one you give me. That's the steps A through E. Oh, whoops, I called that F above. Anyway, these are the 5 steps to go through it. So if you work through these one step at a time, you will always be showing your process. We could go back and show your guys' work, but honestly, you guys are giving me answers. If you look at this, what I saw last time is you guys had, you'd start with this problem and you would write me this answer. Well, that's useless. I don't look at all of this process that happened between there. I don't know what you're thinking if you jump straight to this answer. So I don't care about your answers. People who gave me only answers got a 4 out of 10 yesterday. 4 out of 10 is the lowest score that I give to students who turn in things. So you turned in work, you had work, you worked for an hour, and you got the lowest score possible because you didn't show process. So what this is all about, do step A. When you do step A, you'll be showing me process. Then do step B. When you do step B, you'll be showing me process. Then do step C. When you do step C, you'll be showing me process. Then do step D. When you do step D, you're showing me process. You see all of this work that goes between beginning, like having a problem and finding an answer. I want to see all of these steps. Good. So I've left you guys a few more here to try out. So in this next one, I would go with, first of all, does the problem contain any mixed numbers? Look, 1/2 and 3/16 are both fractions. There are no mixed numbers. The answer to that is no. So if so, convert them. You don't have to do that. The answer was no. So next is, do the fractions have common denominators? These do not have common denominators. The answer is no. So you don't get to skip to that step F. Instead, move to step C. Find the lowest common denominator. Okay, we'll find the lowest common multiple of 2 and 16. Then multiply by those unit fractions. If you show me these steps, you are showing process. The next one also, are there any mixed numbers? No, there aren't in this case. Do you have common denominators? No, you don't. So you have to find the lowest common multiple of those denominators and go on doing it. And if you look, now I give you some mixed numbers. So does the problem contain mixed numbers? Yes, it does. Convert those first. Then go on to B and C. If you have trouble, send me a message. I would love to help you out with showing process, but we cannot sit on adding and subtracting fractions for the next months. It's not possible for this class. It is a foundational skill that you guys need to understand, and you need to show me your work. So best of luck, and let me know if you have questions. Talk to you guys soon.